In 1978, the search for 15-year-old Robert Peast had led detectives to the home of John Wayne Gacy, a businessman and pillar of the local community. There they discovered the remains of a decomposing body in a hidden crawl space beneath the house. But that was only the beginning.
John Wayne Gacy, born March 17, 1942 and died May 10, 1994. He was an American serial killer and sex offender who raped, tortured and murdered at least 33 young men and boys. Gacy would regularly perform at children's hospitals and charitable events as Pogo the Clown or Patches the Clown personas he had devised. He later became known as the Killer Clown due to his public services as a clown prior to the discovery of his crimes.
I enjoyed doing it. It was only twice a month that I did it.
Yeah, this was not used then for a lure to draw kids to you
No, we would visit different hospitals and entertain the children there. And we didn't entertain them with handcuffs or anything like that. All we used was balloon animals and small toys and stuff like that. But we also did parades. And in the summertime, like on 4th of July, I used to be in 4 parades in one day. I've always told people when I got into clown makeup, I regressed into childhood. It was fun being a clown because you could be yourself or just let yourself go and act a fool.
Gacy committed all of his murders inside his ranch-style house near Norridge, a village in Norwood Park Township in suburban Chicago. Typically, he would lure his victims to his home and dupe them into donning handcuffs on the pretext of demonstrating a magic trick. He would then rape and torture his captive before killing him by either asphyxiation or strangulation with a garrote. 26 victims were buried in the crawl space of his home, and 3 others were buried elsewhere on his property, and 4 were discarded in the Des Plaines River.
Darrell Sampson, John Zick, Randall Reffett. The faces filled the newspapers. Body number 13 was Johnny Mowry, 19 years old, a former Marine.
Gacy was convicted of the sodomy of a teenage boy in Waterloo, Iowa in 1968 and was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment, but only served 18 months. He murdered his first victim in 1972, had murdered twice more by the end of 1975, and had murdered at least 30 subsequent victims after his divorce from his second wife in 1976. The investigation into the disappearance of Des Plaines teenager Robert Peast led to Gacy's arrest on December 21, 1978. His conviction for 33 murders by one individual then covered the most homicide in United States legal history. Gacy was sentenced to death on March 13, 1980, and was on death row at Menard Correctional Centre, where he spent most of his time painting. He was later executed by lethal injection at Stateville Correctional Centre on May 10, 1994. At his trial, Gacy's plea of innocence by reason of insanity was supported by the testimony of several psychologists who diagnosed him with schizophrenic, but was rejected by the jury, which found him guilty of all 33 murders of which he was accused. Many of his victims were identified, leaving only about 3 or 4 that were left unidentified, and hopefully one day these victims will be able to have a name. Thank you for joining me for this video, and stay tuned for the next one. Thank you. Bye.